Welcome to Home, Space and Reason, a podcast about creating a home that thrives.
Hi there, I'm Christina Browning, your host. If you know your home could be so much more than it is, I discuss home functionality, aesthetics, and automation. I'm a realtor in Portland, Oregon, and a home functionality coach. I geek out on every subject imaginable regarding your home and yard, challenging you to think of your space differently to get the most out of every square foot. I pose questions for you to think through about your space and your reason. This podcast is all positive, offering you virtual fist bumps and celebrating every win. Remember, there's no such thing as perfect, but you can still aim for your best every day. Join me on social media by searching for the handle Space and Reason. A great dining experience is created at home by striking a balance between aesthetics and functionality with key elements, including comfortable seating, appropriate lighting to set the mood, a well-sized and thoughtful positioned dining table, thoughtful use of color and texture, and a layout that encourages conversation and flow. Let's talk about elevating your dining experience with three things: dining room functionality. I want you to picture your dining room in your mind if you're not at home, or go stand or sit in that space if you are at home. I want you to take in everything around you as we ask questions about your space and your reason. Grab a piece of paper and a pen, and let's think about three things as it pertains to your dining room and its functionality. Question number 1. Do I use this space as much as I'd like to? If the answer is no, examine the lighting. Are there cool or warm bulbs illuminating this space? The area where we dine should be more warm than cool. Cool light is more project-based. Maybe it's what you might want when you're cooking, but it's also abrasive and it encourages us to eat quickly and get the heck out of there. Whereas warm light is comforting and it invites us to stay and talk and linger. Warm light is also complementary, so everyone looks softer and more appealing. If I have warm light bulbs in this space already, do I have a dimmer on the switch? This allows me ultimate control of the situation, giving us more light when the family is gathering, but dimmed down can create a more intimate feeling for date night or having company over, or even if tensions just seem especially high. It's a real subtle way you can soothe everyone who might be coming to the table. Relax. This is a safe space. We're going to enjoy something delicious, and everything is going to be okay. When thinking of buying warm bulbs for a fixture connected to a dimmer switch, be sure that the warm lights are labeled dimmable so they don't buzz or flicker when dimming them. Number 2, let's talk about minimalism. I'm including this because the focus should not be all the crap on the walls or all the knickknacks covering the top of your buffet. It should be on the people around the table and the beautiful food we are enjoying together. I love a minimal dining space because the focus then is where it should be. Think about a few plants maybe by the window if there is one, a large-scale piece of art that suits the proportion of the wall, and the table and chairs or benches. That's all you need. You don't need a table runner, a pile of stuff in the middle of the table, furniture all the way around the table and chairs, creating pinch points, making it hard to get in, to sit down. All these things are subtle mental turnoffs that keep people from using the space. So here is the question. What is one thing I could remove from our dining room to make the space less chaotic and more appealing? Question number 3. How is the accessibility of the dining room and all of the places to sit from a floor or footprint perspective? And how is the accessibility of the dining room table for placing food and passing it? So when thinking about having enough room to move around, get in, sit down, get up, use the bathroom, and also, is there enough room for the plates and then dishes in the middle where your food is going to be? Or do you intentionally not do that because you're serving at the island, for example? I know there are a good number of people who think a placemat is part of a well-set table. I am not one of them. I realize that placemats protect tables from food, water, and heat damage. They're especially important for wood tables that can be easily damaged by moisture or hot dishes. But I choose to use a trivet under hot dishes to protect the table and forego the placemats altogether. Why? Simply put, less visual clutter. It's also far easier for me to wipe off the table than to go do a load of laundry and then iron the placemats if all the stains come out. I love a well-worn table with the age and stories of history showing through. I like the food and guests to be the star of the show, not competing with a busy tabletop. Since we're talking about our experience of dining, you might enjoy episode 44. It is specific to the color of your plates and bowls. It starts out, I recently received a text from a good friend of mine that read, "What are your thoughts on brightly colored dishes? I found some online that I absolutely love, but I don't want to be stuck with something that might not go great in our house in the long run. I like the plates and bowls so much that I might consider planning a room around them though." To which my answer was, there is actually a lot of psychology behind this, and I should do a whole episode just on this question. And that was the basis for episode number 44. I will put a link in the show notes and you can enjoy that one as well. If you've listened to this podcast for a long time, you know that I love home tours. Everything from remodeled homes to Street of Dreams. If there's a home tour, I want to go. And the thing that often makes an impression on me is when I go into a home and there's a dining room space where all of the place settings are easily accessible and there's literally nothing on the table. I want to sit down. I want to gather there. It spurs some creativity in me that I really want to just move in and cook for you. I love how a space that is minimal is so inviting. Think about the places you've been out in the world, whether it be someone else's home or maybe a home tour, and the dining area really spoke to you. What was it about that space that you enjoyed so much? Think about that. Write down notes to yourself. What bits of that might you emulate in your own dining room? Sometimes it even helps to think of your dining room from an outsider's perspective. Pretend you are giving the homeowner suggestions about how to make this space more functional and beautiful. Sometimes wearing a different hat can also help you think differently about your space and your reason. As you probably know, I'm a realtor in the Portland, Oregon metro area. And so when we go through houses together, my clients and I, oftentimes they absolutely want to see how the dining room space feels and functions, and they immediately envision themselves there. But what's interesting is when they move in and I visit them again, sometimes they are not using the space. And I question them with these same sorts of questions. What is different now that you're here? And how is it less appealing because of what is here now that may not have been here before when you originally viewed the space? If you happen to know someone in the market to buy or sell here in the greater metro Portland, Oregon area, kindly send them my way. The finest compliment I could receive is the confidence of your referral. If you're enjoying this episode, don't forget to follow or subscribe to the show so new episodes are automatically queued for you. It's one less thing you need to go search for, reducing your mental load. Thanks for sitting in on this conversation about creating a dining room that you love. I'll meet you back here for the next episode.